a freaking IKEA chair. I'm here for a rant. I want to talk about the end of art. We just spoke about Cocaine Bear, directed by Elizabeth Banks, another prominent director, Justine Bateman. Justine Bateman I grew up with Justine Bateman, kind of had a crush on her. She's now a director in her own right, and I follow her on Instagram. And she wrote a fascinating Instagram post about AI replacing creatives in Hollywood. Very thoughtful Instagram post about the end of art. And I want to read through this and comment on it because I think it speaks to so many things people can kind of feel in the zeitgeist. And by that, I mean, so many great films are made by creative visionaries, and those creative visionaries' voices are being suppressed, supplanted by a sort of corporate voice, as so much of entertainment just becomes made by a factory line, in a sense. And she discusses this. You should follow Justine Bateman on Instagram. I'm going to zoom in on this so I can, we're going to read it together. And I want to get Alan's take on this. He didn't know I was going to do this. So, but I think it's a really important thing to address. So she's _ Justine Bateman _ on Instagram. Follow her. She goes on to say, here's my theory. Art is all going to go AI. All film, all music, all animation, etc. And soon. A friend of mine's been messing around with AI animation on his IG account. Another friend who's an actress has been scanned more than once for films where they can just use her image if she can't make it to reshoots or something. The most, quote, successful distributors of film, TV, and music aren't even people who got into the entertainment business. They're just tech bros with platforms that need content. Any level of it is fine. Okay, we've seen that already. But I think we are going to see the making of content entirely via AI happen at a rapid pace. My God, if Netflix, etc., can save the expense of the $4 billion they spend on shitty content and just have an algorithm make it instead for free, essentially 24/7, it's a big win for them. Then you don't even need the development executives. They can go back to just having coders and that's it, with code generating content. Then, with that being ready to wear, quote, if you will, and any human made art, music, or film will be haute couture and will charge wealthy patrons large fees to see/listen/screen their work. But human made art will no longer be for the masses because greed pushed it out in favor of AI content. Or, as a friend of mine put it, we'll all go back to having our own personal jesters. I've been trying to bang the drum for years about content, quote, content, instead of actual films. But now that people have grown so accustomed to shitty content, they won't notice the shift to AI content. I want to pause for a second. This is a very important statement. Like, the quality of content has just been eroded. So you just go to AI. Will you be able to tell the difference if like an AI made a Marvel movie? We will see the end of art in our lifetime. If you haven't noticed yet, this 20-year trend of sequels, remakes, reboots, reposting, reblogging, repurposing other people's work, and pop culture has resulted in an almost absence of really new art, music, film, etc., with few exceptions. Look, it's hard to disrupt something, quote, in transition. So we're going to have to see this AI baby birthed before anything is going to be able to kill it. It's going to be a comical 9 months until that point. BRB, going to read about the transition from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance of the 1300s. Dark Ages was 900 years. Hashtag humanism, rah, rah, rah. And then I posted a comment that said, please turn this rant essay into a documentary. But Alan, what do you think about this essay here? I think it's very thoughtful, as are many of the posts from Justine Bateman. She's not posting a ton of selfies on her Instagram, okay? She's posting very thoughtful comments and remarks. I'd love to get her on the show, actually. But what do you think about this concept? The fact that like that. So, and look, I have seen what people have been toying with. The WGA is about to go on a strike. Okay, you can just have an AI write a script. You could have an AI write music. You could have an AI do digital effects. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's that idea of we're handing things over, our freedoms, what it means to be human, over to computers now, and we're now handing creativity over to computers, which scares me. And I don't know. I think if we take it to the further extreme, I wonder. I feel like we can tell the difference. I don't know. I know I've been thinking about this a lot. There's a lot of pros and cons to the whole AI thing. Um, you know, if the first AI feature ever comes out, that's essentially animation. I don't know. I'm just hearing this article for the first time, so I'm kind of wrestling with it right now. But there's I mean, I am that purist. I hate things that are not made by people, and I just don't think computers will ever get to that point that they could truly replicate the heart and the passions of people. They can extrapolate off of things that work, off of the long list of films and stories that work, but there's no heart behind it, you know. So I don't know. You talk a little bit and I'll think about it more.
Well, I mean, I've been saying for the longest time that like we are nearing the this is like we are in the opposite of the golden age. We are entering that where so much of art is sanitized, is quote content. With all due respect to Cocaine Bear, which we spoke about earlier, I mean that's content, right? But this subject fascinates me because I actually follow some Instagram accounts that just, show AI art. It's incredible. One, the people look like human, the people look like people, and they're set in these amazing sort of retro future vistas that look insane, that look like incredibly creative. So it's just disheartening because I think she's right. I think that we're entering this like we had this kind of like I really think that the greatest era of American filmmaking was in the 70s. But you look at like what was made in the 30s. I mean, Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz came out in the same year. It's insane. Like there were like all these ebbs and flows in the industry. The
Mm-hmm.
industry has always been in turmoil. How are we going to handle AI? And there are going to be just as like, look, there's going to be a lot of like gimmicky movies that like, look, this movie was entirely made with AI, including the script, and people will go see it just for the curiosity factor. I mean, I just went and saw last week Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which was only possible to be made because Winnie the Pooh, the rights are now in the public domain. And so, out of curiosity, I went to see a bad movie knowing it would be bad. And I was right. But where does this put us? Cocaine Bear, out of curiosity, I went to see a movie I knew would be bad. I was right. That doesn't mean it's not fun, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I just it's the idea of giving up creativity to a machine. Um, if everyone does that, then we lose the ability to be creative. And that again, I think further disconnects us from what it means to be a human being. And this idea of art, and um, I mean, I hope you're kind of understanding what I'm going for here, but um, I think creativity is one of those few things that everyone in the world can have, and to give that up and to not stretch that muscle anymore, I think that will doom us, at least culturally, as a society.
right. Uh, there's first of all, the chat is on fire with questions
Yeah.
about this, but before we go to the chat questions, I just want to, I just think that there are a lot of creative people, the ones that are successful, are able to tap into the zeitgeist. What is it out there that everyone is feeling but cannot express?
Yeah.
That is what a great artist is capable of doing. And I believe that the reason a lot of the movies are failing or feel so flat is because the zeitgeist is not being tapped into. Marvel sort of tapped into the zeitgeist early on, and there's some sort of like that, and they went through a great era. I think Marvel's best days are behind it, and what it's turned into is content, courtesy of the Disney factory style of filmmaking. But this is very it's very disconcerting, and it's bizarre. I once made, this sounds weird, I made a short film in college once, and it was sort of a sci-fi movie. I'll have to dig it out. It's kind of like pretentious and weird and whatever. But one of the things, the premises that I put at the beginning was there's no art anymore because computers have written every possible song. Literally, if you tasked a computer with coming up with every possible note combination, every possible instrumental combination, a computer could technically write any and every song that could possibly be written. That is technically possible. So this is what the premise of a film I did in college, which is odd because AI wasn't really a thing back then. All I knew about was HAL 9000. But I find this topic fascinating, and I do believe we're about to enter a new dark age. I really truly believe that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just the idea that you're putting actors, you're putting writers, you're putting crews out of work by just kind of going this lazy route.
Well, these are the jobs that are going to be replaced by AI.
Yep.
CG and CGI special effects artists for films, gone. Screenwriters, you can have at least the first draft of a screenplay could be spit out by an AI. You could just, here's my first draft. Now I'm going to go in and I'll clean it up.
Yeah.
So screenwriters are going to be replaced by AI.
Well, that's my point. Is you're creating creative atrophy. You know, you're no longer flexing that muscle, and if you just constantly rely on AI to be creative, you're no longer to become creative yourself.
Well, it's also, you look at like Justine Bateman mentions in her essay, she talks about like friends of our actors who have their faces scanned just in case, they need to like, oh, we're going to blow something. I mean, like, look, we saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantum Mania. How many times, like, okay, I guess that's Paul Rudd. Obviously, that's a bunch of Paul Rudds. Clearly, they had a digital Paul Rudd. They've got them in the costumes. I mean, they look like Power Rangers at this point. It's just sort of a different colored suit. But yeah, we are. I believe we are entering a new dark ages because of this. There are so few prominent voices. And the problem is there are prominent voices in indie film, but they're not able to get their message out because of distribution, right? They're not able to resonate because large corporations will not put that their art out on a mass scale because it doesn't fall in line with the message. I'm going to go to my Twitter account here for a minute. And I'm going to show you something. Real quick here. It is the one thing that is interesting to me is deep fake technology. Okay. So I reposted this and I basically said the important takeaway is that our leaders can get along and play video games just like regular folks. So, just a minute. Hang on. I want to share this with you. So give me a second. I'm going to pivot here to something else. This is the thing that scares me is the news being manipulated. Okay. So this was on an account Rasco, Dinna Flash 8. So can you see that?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. So here, I'm just gonna see if you guys can see this. Let's just watch it. You'll get it.
Hey, boys, I may need some help. I found a room with a bunch of mob spawners. Can y'all come and help me destroy them?
Not right now, Trump.
Not right now, bro. I literally don't even know where the fuck you at.
Fine, guess I'll do it myself. But I'm not giving you guys any of the diamonds I find.
Donald, no need to be rude. I'm trading with some villagers I found using the emeralds we mined earlier. I'll head over when I'm done.
Trump, I don't give a single fuck about your diamonds. I already have a full chest plate and a diamond sword.
Shut the fuck up, Sleepy Joe. You think I give a fuck? You probably modded that shit into the game anyway.
Trump, I've spent way more hours on this server today than you have. Maybe you'd be caught up with the rest of us if you got on earlier when we asked.
That's true, Trump, homie. You never check Snap. We sent you a message earlier, but you always leave us on opened.
Well, maybe if you guys weren't always spamming stupid-ass memes, I'd be able to see when you actually message about something important. Dude, this fucking spider won't die.
Just kill him, bro. It's not that hard.
What the fuck? There's fucking 2 of them. Oh my God, I'm cornered. Where the fuck are you guys?
Dude, just build a wall. It's what you're good at.
Holy fuck, I'm gonna fucking die. Oh shit. Fuck.
Haha, what did I miss?
Trump just died and lost all his shit.
Hillary, were you seriously taking a shit for a whole hour?
Yeah, man, it was definitely the Taco Bell.
Bro, that shit's fire. I had it last night. The new grilled cheese burrito smacks.
Hillary, sorry to break the news to you, but I had your enchanted bow on me when I died.
Seriously, bro, I didn't even give you permission to go through my stuff.
Well, I don't really give a fuck. I'm getting off.
Okay, no, here's what's okay. Yes, it was a goof. It was done for fun. You can enter literally like a few minutes of someone talking, and an AI can replicate your voice saying whatever words you want. Deepfake technology is being used for adult content, for comedic purposes like that. I mean, who needs SNL anymore? Someone doing a bad imitation of Biden. Why not just do deepfake Biden? I mean, I just, first of all, that was hysterical. It's on my Twitter at that Chris Gore. I quote tweeted that, which I thought was hilarious. But that just shows you like what you could do with using deepfake audio, deepfake video, and putting together something creative. So now look, if the future,
I can cancel a whole lot of people using AI. I mean, that's a sad thing.
The problem is, how can you tell the difference? Yeah. I feel like there has to be some sort of watermark on it to tell you, yes, this is fake.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's like people will search your decade long Twitter history trying to find dirt, and now all they have to do is now make it up through AI. And you have audibly now said this horrendous thing, and now you've been canceled. I mean, that's the weaponization of this. That's one of the scary outcomes if you take this technology to its extremes.
Matthew Hammond for 2. When do we get Film Threat AI reviews? Stay tuned. Guess what? We already did it. In 2019, a writer for Film Threat, his name is Jason Boog, did an experiment. Now, this is the early days of AI. Okay. So Matthew, way ahead of you. Thank you for the 2. We did an article in which we basically said, meet artificial intelligence reviewer, Film Threat's computer generated contributor. It was written by a guy named Jason Boog. And what we did was we asked an AI with certain parameters to write reviews of movies. So who was the first artificial intelligence to write movie reviews? We now know the answer to that question. Since we ran our 100 years of artificial intelligence in movies essay last year, a major technological development has arrived. Artificial intelligence has grown powerful enough to write movie reviews. There you go. This year, the research company OpenAI revealed a model called ChatGPT-2. Okay. The most powerful artificial intelligent writing tool ever created. The AI needs millions of human-generated sentences, reads millions of human-generated sentences, learning how to write new sentences in response to human prompts. For the first time, AI can collaborate with human writers on anything, a screenplay, a novel, or a movie review. We began by asked GPT to a leading question: Who was the first artificial intelligence to write movie reviews? We got this most excellent computer-generated response, completely unedited. Artificial intelligence reviewer says, it's the robot you can pay $15 for to watch your movie while you finish making your dinner at home. That was an actual answer. I don't want to read the entire article. It's on filmthreat.com. I will, Alan, I'm going to put this in the, can you share this? We'll also put it in the link in the description to this episode. You can just look up artificial intelligence on Film Threat and you can find this, article. But it's, wait, I can just post it in the chat here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll
I don't even want to bump it up to the top too.
Yeah. But in any case, so we actually asked the artificial intelligence to review certain movies, and the article goes on to, put what the result was, right? So we asked it to review things like Terminator and whatnot. I mean, you can read through this entire essay. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Ones that Superman 3. There's an artificial intelligence computer in Superman 3. No, excuse me, is Superman 3 or 4? Yeah, Superman 3. So an interesting multi-part piece. It's brief, but I think it's interesting. So we asked the AI basically to review films related to AI. This was in 2019, back in the day. So fascinating piece. I hope you check it out on filmthreat.com. Film Threat.